Spiritual awakening is often described as a life-changing experience, one that shakes your soul, shifts your perspective, and makes you see the world in an entirely new light. But what happens after the awakening? When the intense emotions settle and the spiritual high fades, what's left? Many people assume that once they awaken, life becomes effortless, but in reality, a deeper transformation begins. Here are 6 things you can expect to happen once your spiritual awakening has passed. 1. You no longer seek external validation. Before your awakening, you might have relied on people's approval to feel worthy, chasing likes, compliments, or status symbols. But now, you realize that validation from others is fleeting and often meaningless. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself because you've discovered something far more valuable: inner peace. That doesn't mean you stop caring about people, but you stop letting their opinions define your self-worth. You understand that true confidence comes from within, and once you reach this level of self-acceptance, you'll notice that the right people naturally gravitate toward you. 2. Old relationships may fade, but deeper ones form. One of the most painful yet necessary changes after a spiritual awakening is the loss of certain relationships. You might find that the people you once resonated with no longer align with your energy. Conversations that used to excite you may now feel empty. It's not that you think you're better than them, it's just that your priorities have shifted. But here's the good part. The universe doesn't just take away, it replaces. As you grow, you'll attract new connections that feel more authentic and fulfilling. Friendships based on mutual understanding rather than superficial bonds. Relationships where you can be your true self without pretending to fit into an old version of you. 3. You become more comfortable with uncertainty. Before your awakening, you may have felt the need to control everything: your future, your relationships, even people's perceptions of you. But after going through such a profound transformation, you start to see life differently. You no longer resist the unknown, you embrace it. Instead of forcing things to go your way, you trust that whatever is meant for you will find you. That doesn't mean you stop putting in effort, but you no longer let fear dictate your choices. There's a certain peace that comes with knowing that not everything needs to be figured out at once. Life unfolds at its own pace, and you're finally okay with that. 4. You experience moments of deep loneliness, but they no longer scare you. Spiritual awakening often brings solitude, not because you dislike people, but because you now crave deeper connections and meaningful interactions. This shift can make you feel isolated at times, but the difference is you no longer fear being alone. You actually start to enjoy your own company. You find peace in silence rather than discomfort. You realize that solitude isn't a punishment. It's an opportunity to connect with yourself on a deeper level. And in that stillness, you find clarity. You no longer seek distractions to avoid loneliness because you understand that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. 5. You stop chasing and start attracting. Before your awakening, you may have felt the need to chase, whether it was love, success, or happiness. But after, you realize that the more you chase something, the more it runs away from you. So, you shift your focus. Instead of running after things, you become the kind of person who naturally attracts them. You work on yourself, raise your energy, and align with your desires. And suddenly life starts bringing the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences to you. Not through force, but through alignment. You finally understand that everything flows more effortlessly when you stop trying to control it. 6. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself. One of the most freeing realizations after a spiritual awakening is that you don't need to justify your growth to anyone. Some people will misunderstand you. Others will question your choices. But you don't owe them an explanation. You no longer waste energy convincing people to see your perspective because you understand that not everyone is meant to walk the same path as you, and that's okay. Instead of trying to fit into old versions of yourself for the comfort of others, you embrace your truth, even if it means standing alone sometimes. Spiritual awakening is not the end of the journey. It's just the beginning. Once the initial intensity fades, you step into a new phase, one of deep transformation, quiet confidence, and unshakable peace. Life won't always be easy, but you'll notice that your struggles feel different now. You handle challenges with more grace, you embrace uncertainty with more trust, and most importantly, you live in alignment with your true self.